think I'm gonna do a live stream this evening, or not this evening, this afternoon. Some of our live streams are planned way ahead of time, and sometimes it's like, I think I do have a big enough window today. And the next one up will be configuring communications for Allen Bradley PLCs. Actually, I guess that will have happened by the time you see this video, since I usually drop these in the evening. So maybe later in this video, I'll update you on that. Working through the brakes on the Rogue rig. This is ignition, if you didn't know. And one interesting thing I did find, but I realized afterwards I was making a mistake anyway, is you can't map an array of Boolean tags. So originally I had brakes as Boolean tags, and that was how I was going to the brakes. But I had to switch this over to double integers. So now I have 4 double integers. That's 128 brakes. What I started to realize is for basic brakes, my Boolean tags, which, a double integer really is 32 Boolean tags, it would be fine because we would be individually checking these boxes. I'll put a 1 there. I could put a 1 down there. But we are really good at creating our own problems. So that's part of the Rogue rig, before the unfamiliar machines case, is to simulate how we start with a really basic problem, and then some fool gets a jumper wire out. Jumper wires are always the famous one, that usually end up screwing a machine up. So then they stick a jumper wire somewhere, and then we're spiraling downhill. And so just for instance, and actually I am live, so hopefully I don't dead short something out. We haven't fully tested it. But let's say this was maybe a basic brake. And then this one here is to simulate a jumper wire. So we could simply check these 2 boxes, but that's going to get real complicated. But as we do that, we're building up a binary value right here. And so 33 is going to be bit 0 and bit 5. So eventually exercise number 33 would be that. So our basic brakes, there's 1, there's 8, and it kind of goes on down. But yeah, we'll end up with some unique codes up here. Then just so I don't go totally insane, I'll probably take that unique code of 6516 and make it exercise number 3 or something. So I think it's going to add a lot more flexibility. But yeah, I am baffled. Why can't I map to Boolean arrays in ignition? Anybody know? Looks like this 3D print did work out, but gonna wait till Michael gets here to pop it off and show you. Amber always says I have my hands in way too many projects. And so, yeah, speaking of inductive automation, when I was at their conference, I came up with this one. Got to work on making it a little more industrial. Also, Michael, if you watch this video, I just ran into an issue with it. But, so this is what Michael was printing, is he made a semi-translucent 3D print. We'll actually paint in the word TW and probably curve it a little more. It's a prototype. And then we're going to take a K50 light and put it in the back of it. And so at Ignition Conference, they kind of had a dip tank it was an anodizing tank, where, you could dip it into different ones and it would change color as you did. So I guess you would dip it into the red. Then when it pulls out of the red, it would be red. And so you do the different combinations of it. And so we're actually going to use that to build out an ignition screen in our class where we actually do an HMI training and in SCADA training. And we are going to do this in the new section. That's why we had to wrestle this over here. And right now it's yellow. I stick my hand in and it turns red because, just robbed it off of our indicator. So got to get this looking a little more industrial. But hey, Michael, while we're here, I know we said we had room because the robot's going to drop this down in front of this, but look how far that K50 sticks out. Even if I put a 90-degree cable on it, we're not going to have room. So we need to make the back of this open. That way that doesn't crash when it comes down. Live stream done. So, I did end up doing the live stream. I think that might have been the last clip I did in this. So I will put a link to that live stream in the pinned comment of this video.